Warning: Alan and JJ Johnson are not professional comedians. During this program, you will be exposed to unfiltered dad jokes in their most potent and raw form, dads telling them to each other. Watching this video may lead to serious physical harm, including facepalm concussions, head-shaking whiplash, and uncontrollable groaning. Proceed at your own risk.
Hey everybody, I'm Alan.
And I'm JJ.
And this is Two Dads and a Joke, where we're here to give you a six-pack of dad jokes and a little shot of parenting advice. And so, JJ, I think there's a lot of focus right now in society on healthcare.
Yeah.
And so I thought it would be really important, maybe for my jokes this time to be thinking about doctors and healthcare. So I'm doing a theme today.
Okay.
I've had some recently. I haven't really had to do a lot with that. Luckily, I've stayed well in this whole quarantine thing. Out of not really caught up in all of that. But a while back, had to go to the doctor when I was in high school, and went in and when I was wrestling, I actually broke my collarbone.
Oh.
Yeah, and on top of it, the coach was kind of like, shake it off and go run.
Yeah, I've had those coaches.
Yeah, right? Coach is like, do some sprints, it'll be fine. And so it didn't get taken care of right away. And so it was pretty bad. So when I went to the doctor and told him, hey, doctor, my collarbone, I think it's broken a couple places. You know what the doctor said?
What do you say?
Stop going to those places. That was a dad joke.
That was a dad joke. You're right. So my jokes don't have anything. They're just random.
No theme. That's cool.
Just
folks, we don't plan this. Like, I've not heard his, he hasn't heard mine. This is all.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're gonna say. So, and I mean, I'm easy to break, and I laugh pretty much at anything. So, but hey, did you know I decided to put my grandma on a speed dial the other day?
You did, really?
Yeah. We call it Instagram.
Speaking of social media,
I did that.
Transition right into into what we do here.
That was
right
totally on
social
purpose.
Media.
Totally on purpose.
That was perfect. We're on social media at Two Dads and a Joke, and there you're gonna find all about what we do with these crazy jokes. We throw out stuff. You might, we'll give you a great GIF to go along with your post if we think it's funny. And you might see your post used in our social media. So out on Facebook, there's a place called Casual Christian Comedy 2.
Ooh.
I don't know what it is with these accounts. There's a 2 after all of them.
I don't know.
But their joke was, I asked the surgeon, can I administer my own anesthetic? You know what the surgeon said?
No.
Go ahead, knock yourself out.
That's a good one. I like that.
You like that?
I do like that. So hey, while we've been quarantining, man, I have my prepping skills have not been that good. I almost ran out of coffee. And
no way.
Yes. I got, 90 days worth of toilet paper, but I almost ran out of coffee.
Only 90 days?
Yeah, well, I'm not as crazy as that's all I could get, man. It was all gone after that. But anyway, so my wife,
JJ, I'm a little disappointed in you.
I know, but I got everything else. But hey,
okay.
So my wife's been trying to, teach me how to make tea, and so, but
tea?
it's a little tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got a steep learning curve. That was a bad one, man. If somebody doesn't groan on that, I'm gonna be disappointed.
That physically hurt. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So I got one for you. So one of the things about this whole quarantine situation is we're a little close, right? Everybody's close.
Everybody's close.
And I'm feeling pretty fortunate this didn't happen sooner.
Yeah.
Because when your kids are little, 5, 6, 7, they can just talk, right? And it goes on. There's one time when my kid was that young, they were talking so bad, I thought his tongue had gone hyperactive. And so I took him to the doctor. You know what he prescribed?
What?
Tongue depressor.
That was a good one, man. I like it. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that one turned out good. I wasn't expecting that. So
I like
don't know
that
what to
one.
do
That
when my
one-
joke's actually good. That one I made up on my own. Even that wasn't even inspired by anybody. So
Wow, I like it. I like it. That's good.
So Proverbs 2:21, for the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. And so as I think about this one, and last week we talked a lot about your friends and the people you surround yourself with, and how that has kind of dual benefit of keeping you on the straight path, but also attracting people on the straight path. And I think the end result of that is this piece that comes from sort of dwelling in the land. This idea of dwelling in the land was a big deal to the Israelites because they were, constantly kind of kicked out of where they were at and got to come back and all that kind of thing. And so when I think about that, I really think about, the reward of right living is being able to really set your roots and be where you're at and be comfortable where you're at. What do you think about that, JJ?
I absolutely agree. And, we are in a very strange time in this country. I don't think that either of us have ever experienced what's going on in the world with, coronavirus and all that stuff. I don't think anybody's ever experienced it, as far as I know. My grandmother, grew up in the World War II, and she used to tell me stories all the time about how they used to have ration days where you went on Monday and get your meat, and, it was bad then. But, I think a lot of people out there are looking at life right now. And, you're seeing, you and I were talking earlier about 401k starting to dwindle down, and that's scary stuff. But it's hard. It's easy to say, don't fear anything, but it's hard to actually not. And I think for me, what has kept my hope going is being in God's Word every day and surrounding myself with a church family that is doing the same thing. We're encouraging one another. And, when I look at this verse, the one thing I think about is everything that's here that we have, it's all temporary anyway. This is not what we're living for. And, our minds can't sometimes compute that, because our minds automatically go to the materialistic value of what we have here today. And, sometimes I think the Israelites, they did that as well. They would look at the land, they wanted to possess it. But at the end of the day, we have to remember that we're living for something, a greater kingdom later on. And that's what we're living for. And so, continuing to follow God's word, to continue to be in it, He doesn't always promise us easy days. He doesn't promise us material riches. He promises us something better. And so for me, it's just remembering to surround myself with people who are going to keep my head and my mind focused on always turning to Christ during these difficult and dark times that we currently kind of find ourselves in. And you know what? It's going to get better. And, people need to look at that and realize that things are going to get better. And as long as we continue to look at God's promises and see them fulfilled in our daily lives, I mean, it's easier said than done, but it can happen when you surround yourself with the right kind of people.
Oh, totally. And I think the other bit there is the upright will dwell in the land. I think of the people dwelling around us, right? In our church community. I think it's amazing how my kids have reached out to their friends, virtually in the church, and they're reinforcing each other's faith. They're all coming together. And as a church community, those people that we find need help, we're able to help. And we're dwelling together, right? We're coming together around that. And I think that's super important is just that because of the sort of right living that starts at the beginning of this, that brings you closer to God, you learn more about His ways, you connect to more people. and then in the end, as we instill that value in our kids, they make their own friends that have common values like that and can actually help each other out. And so it's been really kind of cool to see how my kids have interacted and tried to work with their friends in this terrible time. I mean, that's kind of all there is to it. And you know, in this time we're having all kinds of stuff happen. Like, we're not going to the dentist. Did you know that? Like, it's not really a thing right now to go to the dentist.
Or get a haircut,
so
nothing.
But I heard there's a new YouTube channel for at-home orthodonture. You know what it's called?
I'm afraid to ask.
Brace yourself.
It took me a second. Oh man. So, you know, it's just feel hopeless lately. You know, you know what I did? I changed my iPhone's name. I changed it to Titanic in iTunes. Yeah, it's syncing now.
I love it. Oh, that's a great one. Well, thanks everybody for sticking through to the end of the episode. We'll catch y'all next time.
See ya.